Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3 and I'm back with part 5 of What If Kaguya created Naruto to replace her children. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, I already posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto had absolute control over light and shadow? Shadow and Light Kiki Genkai, so go over there on Anime King and check out that. And yes, if you're new, I indeed have 3 more channels, which I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. All the links will be down in the description for the other channels, so if you want your What If to be done by me, simply go ahead and comment on any of my latest posts, and I'll jot them down for future use. So without further ado or wasting any more time, how about we jump right into this brand new episode? Let us begin now guys. So, to do a bit of a recap for the last part that we left off, Naruto had went to sleep. Yes, he went to sleep, leaving behind his first 2 creation, along with dozens upon dozens upon dozens upon dozens more. Myra and Kinto, they were supposed to wait there until his power was fully restored. Unfortunately though, thousands of years went by. When Naruto awoke, it was to not the sight of them, but to the foliage around him. His power was fully restored. Over time, in his mind, he learned, he grew, he restored himself. He was powerful than he's ever been before. He walked through a desolate street, the people inside seeming to be afraid. When he noticed, he teleported away and reappeared. As he appeared to see one of the species that he created, but this one was not his. This was a lesser being, an abomination. They could suck and devour life force though. This was the aspect that he granted to Kinto when he created 2 new species. However, he did not create this one, so he was confused. The young girl that was being chased, she had stole from them, but she said that she had a reason why she did so. These 4 desired to kill her immediately. When Naruto stood there, they were going to go through him. Unfortunately though, he ripped them apart. As they posed no threat to him, they might be strong normally. Even their body being ripped apart did not kill them, you had to incinerate them. But Naruto had the means to wipe away them like they were nothing. They were strong, but they were simply not on his level. He was a different kind of monster. That is where he met her, a 16-year-old girl known as Aiko Hamura. As she started to tell him upon him questioning her about the world, they were known as Noxuri, from the Crimson Land, creatures that could devour life force. It seems like Kinto had replicated himself. Naruto did not expect this. He gave warnings telling them not to leave until the time of death had claimed Hagoromo, because despite his power Hagoromo possessed no true immortality. Naruto was confused. Why would they disobey his orders? He followed the girl as they made their way, Aiko telling him about the Lunars, the ones that could transform into massive beasts that could crush people with a simple step. As Naruto thought of Myra, immediately remembering the transformation with his wolf side that he gave on to her, and passed on to the thousands of others that he created for her to lead. In the 2 years that he spent with them, he taught them a lot. Arriving towards Aiko's base, there was the children there. She stole a chalice that was made from gold, which she was going to use to hire a doctor. Naruto went out of his way to absorb their sickness. being completely fine afterwards. But there is a catch. Aiko was going to accompany him. At first, she thought that she wouldn't make it back, but the way she immediately accepted that had Naruto curious. But he simply told her that it was going to be a long journey, as she seemed to be crafty at gathering information and she seemed to know a bit, her being a so-called adventurer after all. So she will accompany him and tell him about this world, and in return he would keep her safe, and that is a promise. So with that they headed out, as she was unaware who he truly was, just knowing his name. A distance away, two powerful beings could feel that their creator had returned, knowing that he's resurfaced once again after all these years, 5,000 to be quite exact. They never thought they would ever see him again. However, they were not pleased, not in the slightest, as Aiko started telling Naruto about the strongest village known as Konoha and how the villages were set. Naruto knew that Hagoromo had to do something to make sure that his two species did not devour the food chain, but he was going to learn that all soon enough. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the place, check it out for yourselves as we begin this new episode. We begin this new episode at the location where Naruto woke up once again. The ground shifted. Emerging from the ground was a creature, half white, half black. He was known as Zetsu. As he approached towards the location, his fingers tracing along it. It seems that you were right. He is back. Black Zetsu scowled when White Zetsu spoke, as a memory came to mind. Flashback, thousands of years ago. In the time frame of Naruto training, what would now known as the Noxery and the Lunars. He arrived. Naruto was, along with this group, away from civilization, away from Hagoromo's sight, away from Hamura. Suddenly, he simply appeared. The both of them felt one another. While Hagoromo and Hamura were also Kaguya's children, Zetsu was different. He was more similar to Naruto than to them. He was her will, he was her creation. As Naruto appeared in front of him, Zetsu rose. You have no idea how long I've been looking forward to meeting you. What are you? Said Naruto. And why do you feel like my mother? Said Naruto. I was created by her. My job was to free you. Naruto gave him a look. Yes, I did fail in that part, but as you can see, I am nowhere near as strong as either of your brothers. If they knew of my existence and my plan, they would annihilate me. So I had to hide my presence until the time was right. I felt the moment that you slipped away. I was able to connect myself to you due to our shared connection from our mother. And I appeared here as well. You've closed yourself off. You've closed all of these people down there off from the real world. Hamura and Hagoromo cannot find you here. However, we don't have to do this for long. I know the way to bring back Mother. I know the way to unravel the seal. It's the power of the 10 tails that link it all together. No. Zetsu was confused. I'm confused. Zetsu said, not quite understanding why he said no. I am not going to free Kaguya. What? But it should be your will. Mother, enough. Leave this place and never return, as my connection to her shall be you, but I will not free her. If it is your desire, go do it by yourself. Why? After all your brothers have done, why not help me? Zetsu said. Naruto turned his back. If my desire was to leave her to rot, I would have exterminated you before you could even think your next thought. But if there's a chance of bringing her back, you may do so. but there are things that I must do on my own. Having a conversation with her when she's returned will be something entirely different. I'm not sure she would like what I've done, but still. If you believe that you can, go and do what you can. But I have a path, and I shall follow it. Zetsu opened his mouth. Just because I said I wouldn't, don't mean that if you keep on testing my patience, that you will remain alive. Now leave. Zetsu did not overthink in that moment, he just left. Back to the present time. And after all these years, he's finally returned. I cannot have him screwing up my plans, Zetsu said as he proceeded to sink underground, making his way. Meanwhile that was going on, Naruto was sitting, as the night sky was illuminated by all the twinkling stars. He gazed up towards the moon for a long moment, thinking about going up there. With his speed and teleportation, he could surround the earth almost immediately and search for places, but yet here he was, traveling because, as much as he was angry within the last moments with his brothers, he was doing what Hagoromo did. Simply moving around would not get him the information that he desired. Besides, he had company, and out of all the humans, he didn't hate this one that much. As Aiko slept over to the side, cloaked with a blanket. They've been traveling for 2 days now. He learned that the party that she was with, it wasn't hers. She met them about a year ago, but she connected with them deeply, even risking her life to help and save them all. When questioned, she changed the subject immediately about her family. He figured that is the reason why she was so willing to sacrifice her life. Her past must be bad. Naruto was alerted by her screaming. Believing it to be an enemy, he was ready to smite them out of reality, until he saw her kicking and thrashing around. He moved closer and kneeled down. "Awaken," he said. Her eyes fluttered open as she saw him. "You were He was cut off as she hugged him. She was crying, confused by the strange interaction. From her nightmare to tears like this. But in her case, she was just glad to see a familiar face after that dream once again. Naruto simply stayed like that, not returning the hug, but she found comfort in it. The next day, her desire to not talk about it was strong, so he said nothing of it. As they traveled and made their way, they came across many different villages. When they walk, people look at them with a suspicious gaze. They seem afraid, cautious, intimidated, and also trying to look intimidating themselves. When he offered to make sure that she was safe, she took it as everything, including meals and things like that. After all, as she said it, "If I don't eat, I'll die," she said. However, Naruto was taken aback. When she ordered, the amount of food was sky high, and she did not stop. It seems like loving food was something that made her extremely happy. As for him, he did not eat. She started to notice that. "Are you ever gonna tell me what exactly you are?" she said. "I mean, you don't eat. You don't get tired. I know you're just stopping at night because I get tired. And you don't use a bathroom. Number 1 or 2. Wait. Do you even have a..." She paused, gasping as she covered her mouth. "I do have the human reproductive organ," said Naruto. "Oh, that's great," she said. "Wait, I didn't mean it like that." However, his lack of, embarrassment showed that he really did not care. She quickly changed the subject, as she wanted to know where exactly they were going. When he shocked her. "I'm going to every single village. You will bring me there," he said. Every one of them?" "Yes." Naruto knew that he should just go and find Myra and Kinto, but yet he hesitated. He didn't know why he hesitated to do so. Perhaps he wanted to learn more first. That is what he told himself. There was a small village down below. She said that she was going to pay it a little visit. Naruto did not really care. After all, he would know if she was in danger. As Aiko left, Naruto sat there, trying to understand why the hell didn't he just go and visit them. The problem was, he could not feel them. They were connected, but yet he could not feel them. So that was a problem, but he doubted that they were dead. They were probably leading this whole new abominations as he saw them. But why did they do this? Why did they abandon the way that he taught them? He wasn't really angry, he was simply curious. Because if he desired, he could wipe away every single one of them. They were strong, but they were still mere children to him. Yet he hesitated to go and find them. While he could not feel them, he could find them if he desired, and yet he was traveling. Down below though, Aiko, she met up with someone. She met her while she was traveling. The town was not far away from where she was staying with the others. It was a young girl who desired to, explore the world like her, but given how dangerous it was, she couldn't. She had family behind who forbade her from doing so. She saw her today while they were traveling. She told her where to meet up. By the time that Aiko got there, she heard something. Making her way, she saw the girl. She had bright purple hair, dark eyes. She was a few years younger than Aiko. She was terrified. Her name was Rika. The problem was, there was 5 of them. 5 of them. They surrounded her. These abominations, Noxeries, appeared whenever things were good, it seems. Like they were the antithesis of all of that. Aiko did not waste any time. She drew for the kunai that she had in her pouch. They were distracted as she launched it. Yet he managed to spin around and grab the kunai, plucking it out of mid-air. But that was what she wanted. The explosive tag on it went off, but she already did what she wanted. A rope had wrapped around the young girl and dragged her away from the explosion. When she saw Aiko, she was about to say something, but no time to talk, run! The young child did not hesitate as she took off. Aiko saw how furious they were as they were healing. They would catch her. They would catch a child. She jumped in the way, offering herself up as a sacrifice, once again not hesitating to die. However, as all 5 of them descended upon her, Naruto appeared between them. The sensation that he gave off had them dropping to their knees. I told you not to get into trouble. She breathed a sigh of relief. Hey, it's not my fault that they're monsters. I suppose you're right. This town was empty when I arrived. Tell me, who sent you? Said Naruto, as he doesn't believe that this was a coincidence. They looked at one another. Send us, the one in the center spoke. We do what we want, we go where we want. And anyone that stand, Naruto ripped his head clean off and split his body into 2. The wind release simply tearing him apart. The other 4 were shocked. The next allied to me shall die. 2 other opened their mouth, but it was not the answer. Naruto shattered their spine and burned them. The other one flee. Naruto grabbed him. With nothing, the space around him preventing him from leaving as Naruto dragged him back and absorbed his life force, dropping him to the ground. The last one, he was terrified. Wait! We were sent. But I don't know who gave the order, but it's from high up. They send us to find you and kill you. They send you to kill me. Either this person doesn't know who I am, or they know exactly who I am. Naruto burned him despite his screams. Naruto gazed up toward the sky, his hesitation stepping in once again. Perhaps it was because he created them. He was sure that Kinto was the one that sent them to kill him. But Kinto should know better, but Naruto understood why. They were testing him. He wondered if she was involved, his older sister, if she would agree to this. Naruto turned towards Aiko. Why do you constantly give your life up so easily, he said, changing his thoughts immediately. What? She said, confused. I don't know what you're talking about. You must be going, do not joke with me. If my companion dies, not giving me the information I seek, well, your presence in front of me right now would be useless if you're going to give up your life soon enough. She looked away. I don't want to talk about it. I noticed that, but I desire to know. And I'm not giving you a choice. Because if I don't, you're going to die, he said to her. He wasn't saying that he was going to kill her, but she was going to give her life up easily. You don't understand. Well, it's pointless. You can simply force me to tell you, so why don't you do that? I will not. Why? Because then you would simply fear me more than you already do. And our conversations will become pointless, while I doubt you would never lie to me again. It is not you I would be conversing with. So tell me, why do you keep on doing this? Well, if I give my life up to save someone, maybe my life will have a point, a reason, she said. Naruto simply stood there waiting for her to explain. She lowered her head. I've never told you what village I was from. I told you I met people, but I never told you where I came from or about my family. The reason why is because I killed all of them, she said. She looked at him. I guess you want an explanation. His name was Natsu. He was my age when I first met him. He was 13 years old. So was I. 3 years ago, she said, lowering her head. My village was similar to the one that we first met in, she said. I had 2 older brothers, father and mother, so many different friends. I met Natsu one night when I was out. Even from a young age, I liked to explore, to check out the sights. He was nice. I thought I made a new friend. As I told you on our trip, some villages has structures, police, infrastructures where different systems are built on. I thought I was in love. I was young, I was stupid. But Natsu used me. I told him everything about my village, about my family. I had to watch as him and his friends. She looked away, unable to compose herself. But Naruto wasn't used to feeling empathy for people. His lack of reaction was obvious. She cleared her thoughts and her mind. He let others in. My village was a way for him to join some kind of group, to show that he was willing to do whatever it takes to become one of them, the Noxers. And I watch as my mother, father, everyone I love, all my friends, as their life force was drained right in front of me. And I ran away. I couldn't stop my legs, I just kept on running and running and running. When I finally returned, days later, my head was foggy. My mind was so confused of everything. I thought Her voice broke as she looked down, tears streaming down her face. I thought it was a dream. But when I returned, my village was burned down. Nothing was left. These are the kind of monsters they are, she said. And I caused all of this. I'm the reason why my family is dead. I'm the reason why everything is gone. And that's why I don't want to talk about it, she said. Because I have no one left. And I'm the reason why they're all dead. So why should my life matter? Why should my life has any purpose other than giving it up to save someone? If I can do that, I can repent. I can apologize to them before seeing them again. But every time I try, I make it out somehow. And I don't know why, she said, as a tear streamed down her face. And that's why I don't want to talk about it, because you don't understand, she shouted up at Naruto. As he simply looked at her, she cried. I had a family once, he said, drawing away from her tears. A mother that I love with everything. A mother that I would die for, said Naruto. But my other brothers, they desire something different. And in order to get that, they had to kill my mother. Take her away. I loved them. So I let my guard down and I was punished because of it. My mother was taken away from me. My brothers, I hated them for so long. But now that they're gone, that hate has nowhere to go. Naruto stepped towards her. I once vowed that I would kill every single human on this planet. She was taken aback by that. You asked me what I am. On numerous occasions, he said, leaning down. I was forged to protect my mother and keep humanity in line. I can split the skies, drain the oceans, and wipe away humanity. And for years upon years, I told my brother, who sought nothing but the love of humanity, that I would do it. But now here I stand with a human who has chakra coursing through her veins. A project of my brother's, he said. And my desire is not to hurt you. Because I realize that they're gone now. Even if I were to kill every human, what would be the point? It would mean nothing. Absolutely nothing to them, because they're dead. While I remain eternal. I understand what you're feeling, he said, looking down towards her. But that's a problem, because I should not feel. Even now, I can search this earth alone. At least 1,000 times faster than you. And yet here we are traveling. Perhaps I desire your company. Or perhaps I desire someone to talk to. And I believe that you desire the same, because if you don't, you will die by your own hands. She started to chuckle, not the reaction he was expecting. That's the longest you've ever talked to me, she said, in a straight sentence, or even told me anything about yourself. She hugged him. Naruto still did not move. Get off me, he said. Come on, we're having a little moment. Despite how freaked out I am by what you just said, I'm glad that you're here, because you're right, I do need someone. And I think you do as well, but you don't understand why, she said, hugging him, as she broke free. Thanks. I really needed that. I still feel horrible, don't get me wrong. But I'll stop trying to get myself killed. Because we both need someone. I didn't say I need you, said Naruto. Oh, I know you didn't, she said. But I like your little grumpiness and being straightforward, she said with a smile. So, shall we continue on? Oh wait, I have to go check on my friend, she said, as she ran off. As she made her way, Naruto stood there, He gazed towards the sky as he saw a bird flying overhead, but it was no normal bird. Meanwhile, at the Crimson Capital, there he sat. He was seated on a throne as he opened his eyes. They were red, with slits in them, like an animal, like a beast. He got off his throne and walked. As he made his way, he was dressed in all white, an elegant, expensive white suit. He lived within a castle. That was the only way to describe it. As he gazed through the massive window, everything about him was different. Changes happened despite him still looking youthful. When they met, he was nothing but a young boy. A boy that wanted to protect his sister. However, there he stood. His name, Kinto. The boy that just wanted to protect his sister. The boy that treated Naruto when he was ill. Kinto here was white, along with his red slitted eyes, his rather muscular adult feature now. He stood at the window. Kinto saw everything. Despite not being there, he saw it all. He looked down towards his hand, just as powerful as before. But why not come to me, he said. Why not find us? You can no longer feel us, but you still can find us. You have the power to do so. Kinto said, speaking to no one but himself. Are you afraid? Knowing that you've abandoned us? Knowing that you are to blame for your actions? Then again, you never truly cared about anyone. Only thing you cared about was your desire, your goals. My creator, he said, as he spat with disgrace and disdain in his tone. Someone appeared behind him. She was stunning in every single way. She had similar features to him, but not in terms of them sharing blood. Her hair was white, but it was short. Her eyes were also red, as she was dressed in an elegant dress. This castle was very, very expensive, and that was very seen from the viewing site. The walls, the paintings, the decor, everything about it. There was countless other buildings far down below, but this stand out, as he was in the heart of it all. He turned to face her. Her name was Hitomi, as she approached him. So, he's truly here. Yes. He's come back. Why isn't he here though? Even with the link being destroyed by yourself, shouldn't he be able to find you with his powers? Yes, he could search this world. And given the, well, very large location, he would have come here, but he hasn't. Why do you think he hasn't? Guilt? Shame? Or perhaps he just doesn't care to rush. I am not sure. What will you do when he does return? You are powerful, terribly so. But can you kill someone like him? No. Yes, I can fight him, but killing him is something else. I'm not even sure that he can be killed. Then what? Hitomi said. I have not spent the last thousands of years for him to come back and take control. I say, I'm not sure if it's possible for him to be killed. But there are other ways to do things. He said, gazing out towards his city. What about her? Hitomi said. Oh, she hates him as much as I do. Perhaps even worse. Feelings and all. Perhaps, if the two of you were to work together. He turned his gaze towards her as she fell to her knees. Her whole body trembling. What did you just say? I'm sorry, she said. It was just a passing thought. To preserve your life. He stopped. Don't ever mention that again. I would rather die than work with that witch, he said, spitting with disgrace. I'm sorry, she said. He turned his gaze without a word, as a thought of that woman came into his head. That woman that he was thinking about was Myra. He hated her with everything that he got. Once his sister, but why? The past was long. The past was horrible. But it didn't matter. None of it did. As he turned and made his way, things would not repeat. He would not take charge. He would not rule. If he try, he will stop him. He claimed his immortality was supreme, unending because of what he is. But Kinto had thousands of years to prepare. He would put him down, forever this time. Meanwhile, as Naruto and Aiko made their way, as they started to venture within the elemental nation, there were people giving them stares. They know that we're not from here. It's my chakra, she said. Yours are perhaps unfamiliar to them as well. A lot of sensors in a lot of villages around here can tell the difference between the outsiders and those from the elemental nation. It's a lineage, Naruto said. The chakra is different on the outside. Theirs derived from one unique source, while the chakra of you outsiders are tainted. What? I'm tainted? Yes, in a way. That is how they tell the difference. Hey, are you going to continue your story about your life? I never started a story. I simply told you something. Yeah, but you were gonna tell me more, right? Naruto continued on. As he saw their hateful looks, they weren't even in one of the big villages yet. As they moved through, however, there were a few people that did not like them moving through. To get to there, we're gonna have to go through the land of water, and we're gonna pass by Kiri. Guards emerged as they were at the border. There was a lot of them. A few guarding, but all of them came together. There was a reason for that. Whenever they tried to understand what Naruto was, they couldn't. They could not feel his chakra. They could not feel his power. At first they thought he was one of those, well, abominations. Either. But it wasn't that feeling. There wasn't that stench. There was something different about this one. So they came to investigate. A man, his name was Coulson. Coulson stepped forward. He was macho and large. He stood there at the border, protected, as he had the insignia of the water. It was right on his vest. Coulson stepped towards Naruto. Identify yourself, he said, looking at him, holding on to a special spear. Naruto could see the markings, Fuinjutsu. He looked at it rather calmly. I said identify yourself, Coulson said, not willing to take any chance as he gripped Naruto by the shirt, ready to lift him off the ground, but he found himself unable to. As Aiko looked up, you shouldn't have done that, she said. The guards at the gate, at the border wall, eyes went wide as Coulson was launched over the gate, crashing into the land of water with a violent thud. As he broke through buildings, Naruto dusted his shirt off as he held the staff. These markings. Oh, that's Fuinjutsu. I know what they are. Who weave these markings, Naruto said. Most likely the Uzumakis. The Uzumakis? Who are those? Oh, they are different from the villages. They're a clan of people away from most of all of this. Powerful. And it is said that they're unrivaled in Fuinjutsu. There's a reason why none of the, well, monsters go after them. Uzumakis can seal them away, rip out their souls, all sorts of things I've heard. We got some company, Aiko said. When Naruto turned, he saw spears. The tips were glowing, as they came down with an abnormal ferocity. Naruto held his hand out as all of them were repelled. He turned and grabbed Aiko, looping his arm around her waist. Oh my, she said, trying her best to tease him but getting nothing once again. With a simple jump, Naruto leaped over their heads. As he flew through the sky, he landed a distance away. However, he stopped. As he looked at his feet, he could feel them through the ground. The markings, the connections. Naruto watched as they all converge on his spot. Shinobis from Kiri started to rush in. The ones that were around the area receiving signals. The world was much more, well, technology-wise. To make sure that they survived even though they fought world wars. A lot of times they came together and faced off against the creatures of the night, the Lunas. And also, the Noxeries. So the world was more together in terms of technology. As Naruto could feel technology along with Fuinjutsu. He could understand the Fuinjutsu, but he could feel the electrical currents going through. He could also hear the sounds, his hearing being much more superior to everyone. He could hear the tiny sounds, as they had earpiece in, moving and reporting to one another. The next thing they knew, they were surrounded by a group of ninjas. However, Naruto simply stopped. They raised their weapons towards him. These spears were specially crafted. Naruto saw the energy being built up. In order to handle the Noxeries and the Lunas, they need enough force to eradicate them, and these spears seem to be able to do the job. That is why the world was at standstill right now. Naruto stood there as the leader shouted. "One move and you both die," he said, weapons surrounding them. "Hand yourself over, and you don't have to suffer death." They were told to bring him in because he was an anomaly that they've never seen before. Naruto held his hand up, showing surrender. What are you doing?" She whispered to him. She couldn't understand what the hell he was doing. Why was he giving himself over? "Do you trust me?" said Naruto. "Well, yeah, pretty much." "Then do as I do." "Fine. But you better not get us killed." She was surprised as she said that. As the both of them were restrained with powerful, sealing cuffs, they were brought in. Naruto said nothing until he was brought. They were brought through mazes and tunnels. They would have no idea where they were going, but they thought that was fooling his senses, but it was not. Finally, they were led to a room. "I don't understand why the hell you just gave up." "What exactly you want?" she said. "To understand more." "Why didn't you just, take the information like you did with those other guys?" "My body is different." She looked him up and down. "Yeah, pretty much. That's not what I mean. My power. What they sense they cannot understand. Eventually they will bring their leader here." "Oh, and then you're going to strip her mind." "Her," said Naruto. "Yeah, I heard about the leaders of the villages. This one is known as the Mizukage. I believe her name is May something. I don't remember it fully," she said. "I'm not going to strip her mind," said Naruto. "Is it because she's a woman?" "Oh, I see. You're trying to get laid." "What is that?" said Naruto. "Oh, she said, twirling her fingers together. Naruto blinked, understanding what she was saying. "No, that is not it." "Geez, do you ever get embarrassed? I mean, why are you so calm about all of this?" "Because I am." "Tch, it's no fun," she said, folding her arms while she tried to with the cuffs. It took a couple of minutes as the door finally opened. Someone emerged. She was elegant, flowing burgundy hair, beautiful eyes. They were captivating, an aroma of flowers. She stepped inside, her dress hugging her tightly. "Hello there," she said. "I am Maid Terumi, the Mizukage." Aiko opened her mouth. "Be quiet," said Naruto. Aiko huffed. "That is Aiko, your Mora, and I am Naruto Otsutsuki." "Hello there, you both. Sorry that you two had to be forced in here. But in this day and age, we have to be careful. My people and sensors have never picked up anything like you before. And I was told that you threw one of the border guards around halfway into the land of water. Is that the truth?" "Yes." He laid his hands on me. "Well then, I should give them the order not to touch you." "Yes, you should. Otherwise they will die." "Good to know. So can I ask you, who are you? More precisely, what are you?" she said. Naruto flexed his hand as the cuffs shattered. He grabbed the cuff around Aiko's hand and broke them. Guards immediately rushed inside. Naruto faced them as they looked into his eyes. As he spoke a single word, "Fall." They dropped like potato. Maid Terumi was startled. "Those seals," he said. As he held his hand out, one of the staff materialized in his grip. "These seals, they are special. I've seen stuff like this in my time. But the power to control them, the power to craft them, they're special. I want to understand the deal that you make with this so-called Uzumaki clan, and what you know about them." Maid Terumi looked down towards her guards. "And if I were to tell you no," she said. "You're a smart woman, I suppose, judging that you're the leader here. You can understand the situation without I having to tell you." More guards arrived, but May held her hand up, stopping them, not willing to put her pride over her village. Even the Noxers, and also the Lunas, can be bound by chakra restrained cuffs, given that chakra still flow through them. Yes, there was chakra in their making. The stronger ones, on the other hand, that was another story, but this man of unknown origins just removed those cuffs like they were nothing. His power was unknown. "I will give you the information you desire, on the word that you will not harm my people or my village, or tend to do anything dangerous." "I can accept these terms," said Naruto. "Good," she said. "If you don't mind, come with me." As they walk, Aiko walked right beside Naruto. This was her first time meeting the Mizukage, and she liked her. She was willing to put her pride aside for her village's sake. She could tell, after just saying fall, and those people felt that Naruto was terribly powerful. Yes, he was. So with that, they made their way. Aiko had no idea why Naruto didn't just, go to the Uzumaki Island. Perhaps he was afraid? No, that can't be it. Perhaps he just wants some information. She didn't sure what was his motives or what was going on, but she went with it, as he was giving her a purpose, a reason to continue living. Meanwhile, far away on the other side, from the Crimson Capital, far, far away, this place was different. The buildings were more like a family style in a way. While they were not connected, you could see the closeness. There was connection. There seemed to be love. Love between themselves, a lot of it. The largest one, not as large as the castle within the Crimson Capital, but this place belonged to the Lunas, far in a colossal valley. They were surrounded by massive structures to keep them safe for offensive and defensive. She was sitting, gazing at her reflection. Everything about her was different from the moment she was raised above the food chain. From the moment she became something unique. Myra sat there, running her finger through her hair. Unlike her brother white hair, hers was silver. Her eyes were brown, a deeper shade of brown. Her body was much more filled out. She wasn't big, but her body looked extremely athletic, like she did all sorts of sports. The room was well put together, with flowers weaving across the wall. A blend of nature and a love-warm home. But the place was still gigantic though, with a lot of rooms, a lot of servants, a lot of people, where she stood as their queen. Majority of the world did not even know that she existed, as she ruled, because majority of the world could not reach this far. And in the past, when they went to war, she wasn't mostly on the battlefield, even when they went to war against her own brother. But now that he's back, the man that abandoned them, the man that made things like this, the words that he said to them before leaving, shall not come to pass. He will not take what they have created, what she have created. Both of them has been waiting, knowing that this moment would arise once again. She had no doubt that her brother has been scheming of a way to kill him and kill her as well. And now that he's back, that plan is going to be fast-tracked. She thought to herself. She got up and made her way, walking through the hall. Her dress hung to her. She was the embodiment of the word queen. Her servants showed her nothing but respect as her heels draped through the hall. She made her way down as she stepped into an elevator. It went down and down and down and down. The cannon was colossal, and there was a deep underground chamber for many different things. As she approached, she stepped out as she waited, as someone stepped out from the shadows. Dark hair, eyes that were slitted. It took you long enough, Myra said. I apologize, my lady, the man said, bowing his head. There were some other matters I had to attend to. He's back, said Myra. Ah, the one that you seek to destroy before he destroys you. Have you done what I said? She questioned. Yes, we've reached far. He walked, making his way, showing her, as they stood in front of something, the ultimate weapon. She turned towards him. How long? She said. Just a couple more weeks, until we can proceed forward. You better hope that this works, she said. If it doesn't, you will fall along with them. He smiled, masking his fear if he had any. This man was no normal man, praised as a mighty one, known as one of the Sanin's Orochimaru. As he stood there, watching her very carefully, her cryptic eyes looking at the ultimate weapon designed for destruction. Orochimaru smiled as he's wormed his way into something big, very, very big. But guys, be inspo right here. If you want to see the next part, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notifications they posted. But I'm out for now. Peace.